Hey guys, my name is Olga and welcome back to my channel. And today we are gonna try a new and interesting palette from Adept Cosmetics Emo Palette. You're gonna see swatches for makeup looks, including wear test, and of course we are gonna discuss everything. So take a seat and let's go. First look, and today we are gonna have smoky eyes, dark smoky eyes, and I wanna try two darker shades from the palette, and we can't just keep them as it is, so we have to use something light for blending it into skin. So mid-tone shade, darker shade, the lightest shade for today, and shimmers. That's hard. That's hard to decide, but most likely I will use these two today, and I should add something else on the lower lid. Maybe as an extra I will add this one, but I'm not sure about it. Let's start, and we are gonna start, of course, from the darkest shade from the palette, from the black one. I do wonder whether it's pigmented enough. It seems to me that these matte eyeshadows are more like pressed pigment, and you have to be careful with them. You have to be extremely careful, because otherwise you may have some patchiness when they may not be really blendable. Currently it looks okay. Adding the shade till the crease and even a little bit higher. Unexpectedly fine, but it's not like classical dark black shade. It contains even a bit of green or something. And of course I'm gonna add this shade on the lower lid, so I need a small brush. Be careful, because such matte eyeshadows, they can fall off while being applied. Pressing and adding more. It definitely has green undertone. Let's try dark brown, and I'm gonna use it for blending the edge. It's gonna be a transition shade, starting from the edge directly, a little bit too much. Not sure whether I'm happy or more no than yes, because this one, it looks kind of darker, even a little bit, than black. Okay, careful blending. Anyway, I will keep it as it is. Let's try pink one, and I'm gonna use for blending the edge. It may not work. It may not work with these matte eyeshadows, with this formula, but I will try. Starting from the edge, let's say it this way, and blending the edge as it is for now. Maybe that's fine. Not perfect, but okay, we'll keep it anyway. Changing the brush, and I'm gonna use the shade for blending everything into skin, kind of. And blending. Finally, it's time to have some fun, and it's time to try shimmers. We are gonna start from the darker one. I will add it closer to the outer corner, maybe outer corners. This shade has visible base and it's quite dark, so you can apply it and you can wear it only as a part of smoky eyes or as a transition shade. Starting from the outer corner. Of course, you can apply it all over eyelid, but as today I'm gonna try several. Oh, looks lovely. And adding a little bit of the crease, but as the shade has visible base, don't forget to blend the edge. Please don't forget about it. Blending it carefully, and let's add it a little bit closer to the inner corner right here, changing the side. Beautiful. Oh, nice shimmers. Changing the side and duochrome, guys. It shifts from green to purple. I hope that it's visible on camera right here. Okay, I'm gonna add it in the center. It has visible base, and look at it, it's a bit dark, so same thing. Suggest wearing the shade with something dark. Starting from the center, of course I'm gonna layer it. And as well applying it a little bit above the crease, and of course I think don't forget to blend the edges. Beautiful. That it looks nice. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm gonna wear in the inner corner because I wanna have something kind of light and we don't have anything. Maybe I can apply pink, but honestly I don't really think that it's a great idea. And if we apply these beautiful toppers, it may look a little bit crazy as well. We'll try to find this satin. I have an interesting duochrome shade here. It's a palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I will add it in the inner corner because, well, first of all, we will see how it goes. Maybe it will work. Please work. Yes, keeping it. Because these shades, it's a little bit pink and it works nicely with this matte. And near the pupil, let's add this beautiful shade. At least I will try and we will see how it goes. Okay. Just a little bit. Because I think it's a bit too much. No need. In the waterline and near lash line, adding black. And of course, blending the edges. Finished look. And of course, I'm wearing false lashes today with this eye look. It's required, and I'm quite happy with what I have currently on my eyes. These shimmers, these metallics, they're so wonderful. But if we talk about this duochrome, well, honestly, you can find it quite easily, I would say. Yeah, we have some extra glitters here, but this shift from dark green to purple, it's quite basic, I would say, if we talk about duochromes, of course. Let me tell you what I'm wearing currently on lips. Lip liner from Luxisa, shade 66, and this lip oil from Catrice, limited edition, shade 1. And I thought that it would be harder because when I was filming swatches, I was even a little bit disappointed by matte eyeshadows because on swatches they don't look that pigmented and they are a little bit dry. But when you work with them, when you layer them, it's quite easy and they are blendable unexpectedly. And I was even pleasantly surprised by this, especially with this shade, because, well, it looks a little bit patchy. Yes, in some places it may appear a little bit patchy, but you can blend it and you can move these shades and it looks okay. I have dryness right here, so quite often I have visible issue here, but everything is blended here, so it's okay. It's just my skin issue. I don't know what can I do with it. I'm trying to apply some oils here, still nothing, no clue what's going on there. And it was easy and that's great and that's quite funny. And these matte eyeshadows, you can blend them with each other and it's perfect and it's great. Talking about metallics, you can easily apply them with a brush and that's perfect. For me, it is crucial. I do prefer applying all products with brushes And yeah, of course, if you want to see brighter result, you can apply these shimmers using your fingers, but you don't really control your movements. That's great if we compare fingers and brushes. So yeah, I do prefer brushes, and it's kind of more hygiene. Yeah, perfect. I think that I should film for looks because 3 is not enough of this palette, and I wanna try and I wanna check all these beautiful shimmers on eyelid. And by the way, talking about these two guys, don't forget that they have visible base and you have to apply them near something dark. If you apply them near something light, your makeup would appear dirty and it would be fully expected because of this base. Lovely. By the way, this shade, it has more black base, and we have golden, light green, and a bit of light, I would say pink or even peachy shimmers here. Impressed. And by the way, this shade looks so stunning, but it doesn't have visible base and it looks more like a topper. So guys, now I'm gonna show you eye look closely and we will see each other in the evening. On this side, by the way, of course, I've used an eyeshadow primer for comparison. I have my makeup on around 12 hours and now it's time to check everything. As a reminder, on this side I used an eyeshadow primer, on this side I haven't used an eyeshadow primer, and as expected, in my case, eyeshadow creased right here, and on this side everything looks great. Unfortunately, everything is not that great if we talk about extra shimmers from this beautiful duochrome. Here we have extra big, let's say, pieces of something. It's a kind of a glitter, but not really. And I have these big pieces right here, right now. So these pieces, they fell off. Yeah, guys, that's the case, and it happened on both sides. And yeah, that's the reality. Other than that, no questions, no issues. Meta shadows, they look perfectly, and shimmers are quite great. Second look, and today we are gonna draw at least a little bit. And I wanna try this slightly green golden store. So I'm gonna try these two beautiful toppers, beautiful shimmers, and maybe I will try this green shade as well, but not sure about it, at least right now. And we are gonna try as I want to draw, I have to use the darker shade from this palette, and maybe I will try to blend it using slightly gray shade. Not sure about it, but we'll see. We will try. At least that's the plan. Let's go. Starting from the darker shade and from a small, precise brush. Not a big fan of drawing using eyeshadows. I do prefer using pencils because it's easier to control, but we'll try today. Why not? Starting from the base line right here and creating my future base. Okay, here we are gonna have a kind of a wing. So drawing it, and of course filling the form in. That's why I'm not a big fan of drawing lines using eyeshadows, because they are not that precise and a little bit not that sharp, I would say. Time for the second one. Starting from here, here, and let's finish in right here, connecting all my dots together. And of course, at this stage, I always can clean everything. And connecting right here. So layering the shade right here, and I wanna make this line slightly bigger and thicker. Here I will have to clean. Grabbing slightly bigger brush and shade Storm. Beautiful, interesting shade. I think that I will try to use it tomorrow as well. And I'm gonna blend the edge right here. Just a little bit. Cleaning, gonna use pressed foundation in this and a small precise brush. And I'm just cleaning the edges right here. And let's try some shimmers, and I will start on this one, from the green one. By the way, this one shifts a little bit to golden green or something. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, anyway, starting from this one, and I will let it closer to the inner corner right here. Beautiful. And on eyelid it looks more even golden, and it contains pink. That's funny. I think we will try this one as well. Again, because it contains golden. Again, and a light, it's more like lilac, I would say. So it's gonna be transition shade between these two. At least I will try. We'll see how it goes. For now, let's add the golden one closer to the outer corner. And especially in this area, I have a small pimple right here, and yes, it's visible. Pressing the shade, applying it near my lines. Covering fully this small area. Using the shade, ideally, again, I should have added something matte right here. And by doing this, it would be a way easier to apply shimmers. Because currently, shimmers look, well, they are kind of slightly transparent. And not that perfect, but okay, we are testing, so no extra palette. And yes, let's add this beauty in the middle. Hope it will work. We will check. Crossing fingers. It contains a bit of blue. Why? Okay, fine. Please work. No, it's not what I wanted. Okay, I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it as a part of this look. So I will partially cover it. And now I'm blending these two guys together, and I will try to cover it slightly. Anyway, I have here visible base. That's a miss. But fine. Okay, back to the shade I have in the inner corner, and I'm kind of applying it slightly over this one. By mixing, it looks better. Still not perfect, but way better. And let's add right here a little bit back to golden, and I should layer it as well. Looks a little bit dirty, but anyway, I will keep it. In the inner corner, I'll add a highlighter from Anzeige. Not sure about the shade, probably this one. And let's add it, at least I'll try. Yeah, keeping it. On the lower lid, honestly, I'm not sure that I need something on the lower lid. Probably I will add green eye pencil in the waterline and will blend it a little bit, but I don't think that I need something dark right here. I will draw a line right here in a line, and I think that we should be more or less done. Applying the highlighter all over the lower lid. Probably add a bit of glitters as well, and I think that's it for today. Near the lash line, adding a gray gel pencil and filling in all the gaps I have. And in the waterline, Essence Mera Glow. At least I will try. Keeping. Gonna draw a small precise inner line, and I'm gonna use gel eye pencil from Maybelline. It's a black one, but not that matter. I won't layer it, and that's it, and it would appear more like gray. Let's add a bit more glitters, and I will add this one again near the pupil, under the pupil, just a little bit. Finished look, and of course I'm wearing false lashes today, and on my lips I'm wearing these three products. Lip liner from NYX in shade Nude Flip. I like the shade, I think it's beautiful, but this product is a kind of a plumper, and yeah, it hurts. It hurts and it burns a little bit. And lipstick from Adam in shade Champagne Shimmer, and a lip gloss from Charlotte Tilbury in shade Pillow Talk. I like my current look. Yeah, I think it looks nicely. And today we've tried several new shimmers and one matte shade. Unexpectedly, these two guys, they work nicely together. I could mix them, and that's great. Again, I thought that matte eyeshadows here would be a little bit worse. But they are fine, they are blendable, but yeah, you have to spend a bit of time, and if you wanna see the brightest result, you have to layer them. And yeah, it's kind of, by the way, this shade is quite lovely. You can combine it with pink eyeshadows because it contains a little bit of pink. And honestly, I do want to try these three guys together. Maybe I will try them tomorrow, and we'll try to apply these two guys with these three, and I think that they should work nicely. Talking about shimmers, basic beautiful golden shade, it looks fine, and ideally you should apply it over something, or you should apply it in the center of the lid, because it's not that easy to apply it in such small areas. And yeah, it's okay, it's fully okay, but honestly I do prefer applying some matte eyeshadows right here in such areas, because it's easier to work with matte eyeshadows or with satin eyeshadows. With such shimmers, with such metallics, it's a little bit complicated. Nice, I can easily apply, I could easily apply it with a brush, so fine, great, beautiful golden shade. It's not orange, because sometimes you can have orange golden. No, this looks more like neutral golden with a bit of green. Nice shade. This one, impressed, beautiful, amazing shade. It's creamy, might be applied with a brush. It looks more like topper, and you can layer the shade. The shimmers are mega small, and they are lovely, and while applying this product it doesn't fall off, while this one actually it can fall off a little bit while being applied. Love it. It's a kind of a mix of light green with light golden, and it seems to me that it contains a bit of light purple or lilac kind of, or even, hold on, it contains a bit of light peach as well. Complicated, interesting shade, I'm impressed. This guy, it contains visible base, and that's why I wasn't sure when I applied it, and it was like, oh, well, it wasn't the greatest idea, but final look, it looks okay. Plus this shade, as it contains a bit of purple, not even a bit of, it contains not even purple, sorry, lilac. It works nicely with this one, because this one contains lilac as well, and that's why it's kind of looks nicely with these matte eyeshadows, and that's great. And right now it looks perfectly. Be aware that it contains visible base and it's a kind of a mix of light blue with light lilac, kind of. And you can wear it as it is, and you can apply it in the center, whatever you can do wherever you want. It looks beautiful, and it contains extra shimmers, and shimmers are light green, light golden, light blue, a bit of lilac, and a bit of peach. Beautiful, complicated shade. I'm impressed. I think it's gorgeous, and you can easily wear it with any dark matte eyeshadows or with any purple eyeshadows. It should work perfectly. And I think it looks nicely. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, guys, now I'm gonna show you I look closely, and again, we will see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today around 13 hours, and now it's time to check. On this side, I haven't used an eyeshadow primer. On this side, I've used it, and actually it's quite visible. And yeah, shimmers can crease, and it doesn't look that nicely currently. On this side, everything is perfect, everything is still in place, and I don't have any questions. My eyeshadows are quite great from the wearing point of view. And talking about our beloved shimmers, I can see some shimmers right here, but not that many. So yes, they can fall off a little bit, but just a little bit. And honestly, in real life, when you're gonna talk to someone, no one would notice it, most likely. Third look, and today I wanna do something basic and simple, and I don't wanna use false lashes today. And my goal for today to try these two beautiful toppers, and I will apply them on the upper lid. And I want to try this beautiful shade, and I want to try it as a crease shade. This one I'm going to use for blending this slightly lilac shade. By the way, it seems like this one contains a bit of gray. So let's go, and we are going to start from our crease shade. And most likely I will draw a wing. I don't know whether I'm going to use matte eyeshadows from this palette or no. Not decided yet. Most likely yes. Most likely yes. So let's start on this side. I don't have any eyeshadow primers. And let's go. Starting from the crease. And as well adding the shade a little bit in the outer corner. I know which shade I'm gonna use today for drawing the wing, the gray one, and I will blend the edge a little bit. Beautiful shade, I like it actually. Interesting, and it's quite pigmented. Changing the brush, and I'm gonna add light pink on a big fluffy brush, and I'm gonna use it for blending the edge right here a little bit. So kind of mixing these two guys together. I hope that they work together. And well, yeah, seems more or less fine. I've applied way too much right here. Cleaning. And again, back to pink. Blending. Beautiful. As an option, for instance, I could have applied a little black right here and pink closer to the inner corner, and these two, they should work nicely. Let's try some shimmers. We'll start from this one. It shifts from light pink to light golden, and it seems to me that it has a bit of light green as well. That's kind of funny. Okay, it has slightly pink visible base. Starting from the outer corner, beautiful shade, but I think that I've seen something similar. And it was palette from Cosmic Brushes, The Lovers. I think that yes. Looks quite identical. Changing the side, and now let's try this beauty. For daily looks, this shade is the star. It's like neutral champagne with a bit of pink. Nice. Yeah, nice. But I would prefer using it as it is. Applying it slightly over the previous one, back to the previous one, and I think that I should apply it till the inner corner and kind of mixing these two guys together. Because the second one, the lightest one, it looks more like a topper, honestly. And yeah, applying it a little bit above, and of course above the crease. In the inner corner, I'm gonna add a highlighter from Anastasia, and I will add this one, shade Luna, and let's go. Yeah, keeping it let drawing and using the gray shade from this palette and a small flat brush. Let's draw, starting from the outer corner and creating the base, connecting and immediately blending. Yeah, the lash line, adding gray pencil, drawing a small inner line using gray pencil. In the waterline, adding kind of light eyeliner from Kika Milano shade 1. Final look, and I don't wear false lashes today. I simply used a mascara. And let me tell you what I'm wearing currently on lips. Lip liner from Natasha Denoni in shade Natasha and a lip balm from UV Savoy in shade 1. And you know what? You can easily wear this look as a kind of basic daily look. For instance, if you don't have enough time, don't draw wings, and you're gonna save a bit of your time. And honestly, you can do this look within 10 minutes. If you're used to it, of course. So guys, today we've tried new matte eyeshadow and it was quite easy to work with it. A beautiful light lilac, even a little bit pastel shade. Like it, works nicely with the pink one. You can combine these two together, and yeah, they're okay, they are blendable, not kind of perfectly blendable, but they are blendable and you can layer them. Toppers, shimmers. My favorite, of course, is this one. It's a beautiful, beautiful shade. It shifts a little bit from light pink to light golden. Has a bit of light green and lilac. Beautiful, like it, and it might be easily applied with a brush. It has slightly visible base, so I suggest wearing it with something pink or lilac. Talking about this one it's more like a basic topper. It doesn't have visible base, so if you want to add a bit of sparkles, a bit of shimmers, you can wear it as it is, or you can apply it over something. It looks more like cool tone champagne, not neutral. Cool tone champagne with a bit of pink undertone. So now I'm going to show you eye look closely, and we will see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today around 12 hours and I just returned back home, so I'm a little bit red, partially. Okay, let's check everything out. On this side, I haven't used any shadow primer. On this side, I've used it. And yes, eyeshadow creased a little bit right here, but it doesn't look that bad today, I would say. On this side, everything is just simply perfect, no issues at all. My eyeshadows are great, so no worries. Talking about fallout, I can definitely see some small pieces right here. Not that many, again, but yeah, I have some at least. And be careful while applying, especially this beautiful topper. Well, both. Honestly, both. Because they can fall off a little bit while being applied. So bear in mind. Final look, final thought. And today we're gonna do something extremely hard, I would say. I wanna draw lots of lines, I wanna blend them, and I wanna try shimmers and this beautiful green shade. So everything that's left. And we are gonna start from the base, and I'm gonna draw a base using pencil. Just simply a pencil that doesn't dry down, that can move, and I'm gonna use it for drawing my base, and I'm gonna use eyeshadows for setting this base. For now, I need this product in order to have possibility to do some mistakes, because well, it's gonna be funny. Actually, it's gonna be quite funny, and we are gonna start from the first line. I'm gonna have 4 lines on the lower lid, on the upper lid, and yeah, guys, let's go. Not sure about the first line. Do I need... Okay, let's do the basic. I'm using Waxy eye pencil from Inika. Now, grabbing this beauty a little bit out, the shade is gray. It's the base for my wing, creating a basic wing, filling it in. The next one is gonna be over here. I'm looking forward to checking the way everything's gonna look. And grabbing this line a little bit out in all directions. One more line here is gonna be right here. For now, again, I'm creating a base and I'm using brushes, making these lines smaller. As well, I want to have a little bit right here, kind of extra. The other one, I want to have it slightly parallel to this one. One line, one dot, one more line, connecting these two. Cleaning the edges, because here I have way too extra. Dragging this line a little bit out. Maybe I will use gel eye pencil later on, but for now, I don't know, maybe I won't. Moving this line a little bit out, connecting these two together a little bit. Yeah, let's have something like this. I'm gonna do a crazy thing. Not sure whether I will keep it or not. Will I keep it? Well, yeah, I will keep it right here. Such looks better to do simultaneously, otherwise you might be in trouble. Time to set everything, and I'm gonna use the darker shade from the palette. And don't forget that it contains a bit of green, and by the way, guys, it stains so badly when I try to remove the second look. Oh, I had wings after removing makeup. Okay, taking the shade and setting fully all this line, going over with the shade over all lines, step by step, and going over. I want to add a little bit more of this dark shade closer to this circle, partial circle, and I want to add a little bit right here, and nearby I will add the green one, light green, of course, blending it a little bit and making this line, I would say, bigger, thicker, but just a little bit, and again, step by step, adding more, and of course blending. Now I'm changing the shade and I'm changing the brush. Let's add a bit of green. And yeah, let's go. Starting from the center right here and kind of blending these two guys together. We'll add the shade probably till here. Probably, if needed, I will add more or closer to the inner corner as well. Maybe yes. Adding a little bit more here. I'm gonna have a sparkle, one sparkle, the other one I'm gonna add right here. And you know what? Let's add this green one a little bit right here as well. And in this area, I should also add it carefully, very, very carefully. Adding closer to the inner corner, as I've told you. And blending. In the inner corner, I will add something sparkling, not really sparkling, kind of a satin shade or something like this. Grabbing small precise brush, mega small, and I want to add green right here. And as well, a little bit, not even a little bit, or I should add blue. No, I will add lila and pink. I don't have blue in this palette. And that was a mistake. Adding the shade again near all the lines. So by doing this, I'm gonna kind of simplify application of my shimmers. Let's finish with my eyeshadows, at least with the upper lid. Grabbing lilac, and it's gonna be in this small area right here. Not gonna be that visible, but still I will add it. It is visible, but just a little bit. And in this area, adding the pink one. Layering it a little bit and moving. Let's add some shimmers, starting from this beauty. And it's gonna be my main star for today. Adding it in the middle. Lovely sparkling. Starting from the center and applying it in the center. Moving it in all directions and mainly adding in the center what's left, moving. And let's try this beauty. The last shade. Oh, lovely. Nice. I'm gonna add it right here. Starting closer to my... I have a pimple here and now it looks like a star. Because some shimmers are applied over it. That looks funny, kind of funny. And as an option, let's add a little bit more right here. Same shade, nothing special. This one, it looks more like a taupe. So it's more gentle, I would say. And adding it a little bit out. In the inner corner, I'm gonna add a highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Shade Helga. So adding it right here. And what's left, moving to the lower lid. On the lower lid, I'm not gonna have anything special. I will probably... what I'll probably do... First of all, I want to have a kind of a line right here. And... Let's add a bit of lilac. And maybe... will I keep it? I don't know. Let's take a look. It looks fine. Anyway, I'm gonna have a line right here. And in the waterline, I will add something light green probably. It just kind of having something, just a little bit, not that visible. That's okay. For today, yeah, the lash line, adding black. One extra line. At the beginning, actually, I thought about having more lines, but okay. just adding a small one right here. And in the waterline, adding light green from Essence shade 32. Not sure that I like it. Let's add a bit of Essence, another one over, so kind of adding a bit of shimmers right here. You know what? I've changed my mind a little bit. So adding the shade right here as well. I think that by doing this, it may look a little bit better. Not perfect, but okay. And of course, applying eyeshadows over this line and setting it. Maybe a strange decision, but I decided to continue this dark line near the lash line till the end. I'm almost done with my look, and as I'm gonna film a review with this look, you've already seen the final one, and you will see it one more time quite soon. Now I will show you eye look closely. You're gonna see wear test, and then we will discuss everything. I have my makeup on today a bit more than 8 hours, and I want to start editing this video today. So it's time to check everything. Unfortunately, I forgot to use the eyeshadow primer on this side, so sorry. And yeah, eyeshadow creased as expected, but they still look fine. Matte eyeshadows are still in place, they are quite bright, and this time shimmers are still in place, so I don't really have any fallout. Final look is here, and of course I'm gonna tell you what I'm wearing currently on lips. A lip liner from P. Louise in shade Luscious Love, lipstick from Influence Beauty in shade 1, and a beautiful lip gloss from Fenty Beauty in shade Fussy. And it's time to talk, time to discuss everything, and of course we are gonna start from the basic information. If you live in Europe, you can, of course, order this palette directly from the USA, but I can't really suggest you doing it because you have to pay around 20 plus euro for delivery. Yeah, shipping cost is quite high, plus extra for taxes. As an option, you can buy such palettes in overall from Monolith shop, and I ordered it from this website. Unfortunately, you have to pay for a delivery as well, and for instance, I paid for it around 9 euro. If you make an order for more than 100 euro, shipment is gonna be free for you. But as I ordered only one palette, yes, I had to pay. I had to pay for it. In total, I paid around 92 or 93 euro for this palette, including the delivery. I will try to find a bill, and you're gonna see it somewhere here. This palette is made in China, yes, unexpected, and here we have 18 grams. And fun fact, this palette, I mean, the packaging looks more or less, and it feels more or less identical as palettes from Natasha Denona. And if you want to, you can take these refills off and you can create your own palette, or you can change the order. And I think that it's great. And I was a little bit kind of surprised at some point seeing it. And by the way, it's my first palette from this brand. I've never tried any eyeshadow palettes from this brand before. So first impressions, guys. So we are done more or less with basic information, and the packaging, honestly, it looks okay. And yeah, if you have at least one palette from Natasha Denona, MIDI palette from Natasha, you know what you can actually expect. And I think that's great. Actually, that's great, especially knowing the price. And yeah, guys, it costs more than Natasha Denona. Yeah, that's true. Here we have 6 matte eyeshadows. Other eyeshadows are toppers, shimmers, metallics, and honestly, from one side, it's not enough having only 6 matte eyeshadows. From the other side, we have so many beautiful shimmers and glitters. And that's great. That's great. And I was kind of happy knowing about it, and I was happy seeing it. And that's lovely. Quality, guys, quality time. We're gonna start from matte eyeshadows, and honestly, I thought that it wouldn't be that easy to work with it. I can't really tell you that it was easy to work with them, but at least they are blendable. You can mix them together. Because if we talk about pressed pigments, and actually it's written here that it's eyeshadow and pressed pigment palette. And if we talk about pressed pigment palettes, eyeshadows, in most of the cases, it's not that easy to work with them, but they are pigmented. Of course, they are pigmented. And here, yeah, if you do a basic swatch, they may appear not really that pigmented, may appear like, pigmentation is around average. But these matte eyeshadows are blendable and you can layer them, so they are buildable. And that's great. So, and you can blend them, and that's great. And it was quite easy to work with these two guys. You can mix them together. That's great. It was easy to work with these two guys. You can mix them together. That's great, because this dark, it looks like black. In the palette, it looks like a basic black shade, but it's not. It contains green, and that's why it might be easily be blended with the green one, and that's lovely. But if you're extremely new to makeup, yes, for you it might be a little bit, I would say, hard at the beginning. Then you're getting used to it, and it should be okay. But of course, if we compare matte eyeshadows from this palette to Natasha Denona, with Natasha Denona it's easier to work with, because eyeshadows are a little bit more, not even a little bit more, they are more creamy. Here they are drier, definitely drier, and when you touch them, you feel like, yeah, they are a little bit dry. And this formula, these matte eyeshadows, they remind me eyeshadow palettes from Beauty Bay, especially matte eyeshadows. I think that they are mega close. And I wouldn't be surprised that these matte eyeshadows are made on the same factory. Same factory doesn't mean the same formula. Don't forget about it. But I think that matte eyeshadows are more or less the same. And if you have tried eyeshadow palettes from Beauty Bay, guys, you know more or less what you can expect. And if we compare these matte eyeshadows to cosmic brushes, for instance, to this palette, it was as well my first, not new, my first palette from this brand. I would say that with these matte eyeshadows, it's a little bit harder to work, because they are kind of a little bit drier and you have to do some tricks, and you can't really blend them together. You see the line between the shades. Here, no, you can blend them, you can mix them. And I think that that's great. The only thing that you should know about that this shade, this one, black green, it stains. It stains so badly. After, I think it was the third look, no, the second one, when I was removing it, I was like, whoa. I couldn't remove it fully before going to bed. I had these lines partially, and I could remove it a little bit. Well, I could remove it fully only in the morning. So you have to take it into account, and ideally try to apply it over something for avoiding this issue. Because I tried to remove it in the evening, I would say 2 or 3 times. It didn't help much. Of course, it helped, but still I could see the lines, green lines. Yeah. And in the morning, I removed it fully, so that was okay. But as well, you should know that your brushes are gonna be a little bit green. Of course, sooner or later, this pigment will be removed, but it takes time to time. Yeah, it takes time to time, from time to time. Shimmers. Quality. I'm impressed. Of course, they can crease. they can crease. Same thing from Natasha Denona, from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that's okay. Because if shimmers, metallics are creamy, they can crease. And it's going to be expected. Especially if you have hooded eyes and deep eyes. I have slightly deep eyes, so in my case, in most of the cases, such eyeshadows, they crease. I know about it. That's why I use some liquid eyeshadows before applying metallics. And in this case, I don't have any issues. As an option, you can use your beloved eyeshadow primer, but my personal preference, I do prefer using liquid eyeshadows because in most of the cases, liquid eyeshadows, they work better than eyeshadow primers. Plus, if some shimmers can fall off while wearing, it prevents. By using liquid eyeshadows, you kind of prevent this issue, or as an option, you can use glitter primer. NYX has one, and it works quite nicely. These shimmers, they can fall off a little bit, especially while being applied, and you have to be careful, and mainly it's related to this beautiful light shade and a little bit to this one, because they are kind of slightly flaky, and that's the main reason why. Other than that, no issues at all. You can easily apply all these metallics using brushes, and it's crucial. For me, it is crucial. I like applying eyeshadows, especially metallics, using brushes. First of all, hygiene. Second thing, you can control what you are doing actually, and that's great. Now, from the quality point of view, I think that we are more or less done. And now let's discuss the shade, probably. You know what? I've just realized that I have forgotten to apply an eyeshadow primer on this side today. Sorry, it happens time to time. Okay, back to our discussion and back to color story. And we are going to discuss all these beautiful shimmers and all these beautiful shades. We are going to start probably from matte eyeshadows because it's going to be easier and simpler. Beautiful light pink shade, and it's even a little bit cool tone, and it seems to me that it contains even a little bit of lilac. Beautiful, lovely shade. I found some shades slightly familiar to this one, and of course I will show them to you a little bit later. I was impressed by this shade because I don't have any exact shades like this, because it's kind of mega cool tone lilac. It's really cool tone. It contains a bit of gray, and that's lovely. It's interesting and it's beautiful, and you can easily layer this shade and you can mix it with this one. These two guys and these three guys are more kind of pastel, and that's nice for springtime, for summertime. If you need something like this, that's lovely. Gray. It's not like a basic gray shade. It's more like gray with a mix of light blue. And it appears even a little bit blue on eyelid. So if you prefer having a gray shade with pink undertone, because it's easier to work with gray pink, it's not the shade you can expect. But still, you can blend this shade using something lilac as an option, and then you can blend this lilac shade using pink. And it should be okay. And by the way, these three guys might be used for doing smoky eyes. For instance, you're gonna apply this beauty fully on your eyelid, then you're gonna use this shade as a crease shade, and then you can, well, actually you're gonna use this shade as a shade for blending this one in order to apply this for using this beautiful pink shade for blending everything into skin. And as a topper, you can use this shade or this one as an option. Actually, these two you can use as well. They should work quite nicely. Lovely, interesting shade, but yeah, it's more like blue with a bit of gray. The next one is going to be this one, lovely, basic, at some point, basic light green shade with a bit of something gray. Yeah, so yes, it's a little bit complicated, and that's great, and it looks and it works quite nicely with a combo with this beautiful shade. This one, like dark brown with gray, again with a bit of gray. So this shade is a little bit cool tone as well. and it looks okay. But if we talk about these two guys, I tried to blend them together. It was doable a little bit, but they don't really work that nicely together. You can, for instance, combine this shade with this one. They should work more or less nice together, but yeah, ideally I would probably use it as a part of with some other shades, honestly, because as a part of this palette, it's like, yeah, you can use it, of course, you can draw some wings and so on, but it looks a little bit like a side, I would say. So maybe just my personal opinion. Sorry, guys. And the last shade from this palette, matte shade from this palette, is this one. It's more like dark green with black. Nice, lovely, but don't forget that it stains. Moving to shimmers. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, they're so great, and I was so impressed. We're gonna start from the lightest one. It's a beautiful shade for some daily looks, and it's more like cool tone champagne with a bit of something light pink. But light pink, actually, it's not really that visible. And in the palette, there is something, but on eyelid, it looks more like a cool tone champagne, even with the silver glitter. So I would say that this shade is more like cool tone, neutral cool tone, beautiful, lovely for daily looks. Perfect. And it looks more like a sparkle, like a topper. And yes, of course, you can apply a lot, but it might be a little bit too much. This shade, I'm not sure that you're gonna use it daily, because it has visible gray, dark gray base, and ideally you should use it as a transition shade, or you can use it for smoky eyes as an option. So in this case, it's going to be fine. So as I've told you, the base is quite dark gray with a bit of something blue again, and we have extra beautiful glitters here. They are light golden, light peach, a bit of light pink, and a bit of light blue. Interesting shade, looks great, quite complicated, and it works nicely with this one, this beauty. Honestly, it's quite basic, I would say, duochrome, multichrome, and you can easily find something similar. It shifts a little bit from dark green to purple. Yes, to purple. Lovely, beautiful, but you can find a single eyeshadow like this. And we have extra glitters here. We have some big pieces that personally I don't really like them because they look kind of strange on eyelid, as you have something not really unusual, but something that shouldn't be a part of it, because they are mega. I would say that they are around 2-3 millimeters, I would say. So yes, they are quite visible and they are quite big, and the small pieces, they can fall off. And that's why I'm kind of a little bit skeptical about it. But if you like, why not? For me, it's more like more no than yes. These small pieces are more silver, but they shift a little bit to light green, not to light green, to a mix of green and blue, and to purple a little bit. And as well, we have some extra small glitters here, light green, light golden, and a light blue and light purple. Lovely shade, like it, but I found something similar, but without these extra glitters. Moving on, this one, beautiful. It's a kind of a duochrome again, and it shifts from light green to light golden. Beautiful, amazing shade. I like it so much. It doesn't really have visible base, so you can wear it as it is. This shade has visible base and it's quite dark, and ideally you should apply it over something dark, or you should wear it with something dark. And don't forget that you have to use you have to blend the edges, otherwise it might be a little bit, I mean, when you apply this product, these two shades on eyelid, blend the edges, otherwise it may look a little bit dirty. This shade, you don't have to use it with something, you don't have to use some tricks because it doesn't have visible base, so it looks more like kind of shimmery topper glitter. You can apply more or you can apply less, of course, up to you to decide. We have extra glitters here, light golden, I would say even neutral golden, light green, and a bit of light purple and light blue, something like this. Two main shades are light green and light golden, neutral light golden, and that's amazing. You can wear it as it is, as a part of some daily looks. This shade is quite interesting as well. It's a duochrome, kind of a duochrome. It shifts a little bit from light blue to something light lilac with a bit of golden. It has visible base, so you should take it into account. So you can't just apply it as it is and keep it, because otherwise it may look a little bit dirty. You can combine it with any other shades, and yes, it shifts, and it's visible on eyelid that it shifts a little bit. And we have extra light blue glitters here, of course light golden glitters, and a bit of something peach. I mean the glitters. Lovely shade. You can apply a little bit less, but still it has visible base, and it's even if you apply just a little bit, this base is gonna be visible. Golden, beautiful, amazing golden shade. And you know, it's more like green golden, neutral green golden, so it doesn't have a lot of orange, because golden may have different undertones. It might be more orange, might be more red, might be more green. Here we have more green option, and actually that's quite lovely. It has visible base, so I suggest applying it as it is, and over it you can apply some other beautiful toppers, for instance this shade or this one as well. Lovely shade. I found something similar, but not really the same. The bases are not fully identical. I'm gonna show it to you a little bit later. My star, my today's star. Oh yes, it looks so yummy, so lovely. This shade doesn't have visible base, so you can actually apply it as it is. Well, if you want to apply a little bit, of course, if you apply a lot, the base is going to be a little bit visible. Ideally, you should combine it with something green, or you can combine it with something brown, because it contains a bit of brown. It's a mix of light blue, and by the way, it shifts a little bit from light blue to light green. So if I look like here, it looks like a mix of light blue with a bit of gray. If I look at it like this, it looks like light green. So yeah, it's a duochrome, it shifts, and it's beautiful. I like it. Love it. And of course it contains some extra glitters, light blue, light purple, light green, and of course light golden. And two more shades left. We're gonna start from the one I've tried today. Lovely, basic, and it's a kind of a topper, but be careful because it's a little bit flaky, and these two guys, they have more or less the same formula. And here we have mainly light green shimmers, and yeah, it looks basic. Yes, it's not a duochrome, but still it looks quite lovely, and you can apply it on the upper lid as it is, or you can apply it over something. Lovely, basic, beautiful shade. And one more triochrome, I would say. And drawback, it's flaky. It's a little bit flaky, but it looks great and beautiful. It has slightly visible base. So again, I suggest applying it with a combo of something. Of course, you can apply it as it is, but you should combine it with something more pink. So it shifts from light pink to light, not to light, to neutral golden, and with a bit of green and lilac. Amazing shade. I like it, but yeah, I'm gonna show you some shades that look quite similar, and I think that I found a dupe to this shade. But formula is not going to be the same, but the shade is going to be almost identical. Like it, looks great on eyelid, and it's wonderful. Now, let's do some swatches. But before, let me show you two palettes that look quite similar to this one, from the color story point of view. And these two palettes were released not that long time ago. The first one is going to be from Cosmic Brushes. They are not fully identical, but some shades, honestly, they look quite similar. Not the greatest way to show. Hopla. Yeah, we have some shades that look kind of similar, and yeah, I'm gonna swatch several shades from this palette. The second one is from Beauty Bay, Daydreamer. Same thing. We have several shades that look kind of similar, and let me show them to you side by side. Not fully identical, yes, I do agree, but the color story, kind of some vibes at least look quite similar. And finally, let's do and see some swatches. We are gonna start from light green. Honestly, I couldn't find an exact tube, but I found something similar from Natasha Denona. Are they fully identical? Honestly, no. I would say that the shade from Natasha Denona looks definitely lighter and it contains more pink, while this shade from Adept Cosmetics, it's more like, I would say, gray and contains more yellow. So they look kind of similar, but they are not fully the same. I found quite many pink shades that look kind of close, but again, not fully identical. I mean, this beautiful pink. The first palette is gonna be from Natasha Denona, of course, pastel palette. Here we have a beautiful kind of light pink with a bit of lilac. A bit of, but still. And these two guys, again, they look quite similar, but they are not fully identical. As an option, if you wonder, I don't really remember whether I filmed a swatch of this one. I think that no, but just in case, if you wonder, this palette from Cosmic Brushes. Here we have the pink one that is definitely lighter than these two. And just take a look. For instance, you can use this pink for blending this pink from Adept Cosmetics. And of course, Beauty Bay, this beautiful palette. Here we have actually two shades that look kind of similar, but the closest one is this one. Are they fully the same? Again, guys, unfortunately, no. And by the way, talking about swatches and similar shades, this time I don't really have that many. That's life. It may happen. This one looks more neutral, I would say, and but still, in case of some looks, these two guys are gonna be the closest and they may look fully identical. Surprise, surprise, but with matte eyeshadows, we are done for today. Of course, I have some similar dark black, brown shades and probably I could find something, but I mean, the shade it's not that unique. So yeah, you can find something similar. I'm afraid I don't have more or less the same shade to this one because it's way too dark green. Talking about the gray one, well, let me show you a small swatch. For instance, this palette from Mario has gray shade, and I just want to show it to you how different these shades are and how, I would say, blue this beautiful shade from this palette. Just take a look and let's compare. This gray is definitely contains a bit of something pink, while this one it looks even blue on swatches. So yeah, it's a kind of a gray, sorry, but it's not really that gray if we compare it to some other gray shades. And that's why I decided not trying to find something similar, because I definitely don't have something that similar. I have some gray blue shades that are lighter, but they are not, of course, as they are lighter, they're not that dark as this shade. So that's why we are moving to sparkles, and I have several shades to show. First of all, we are going to start from this beautiful sparkle, and I found several shades that are kind of similar, but again, not fully identical. And the first one is going to be from the palette from Natasha Denona. I think it's Retro Glam palette. This beautiful shade. But this shade from Natasha is more, I would say, golden, while this shade looks more silver. One more unexpected option for you, palette from Essence. Here we have beautiful, I would say even it's a little bit cool tone champagne. Okay, cool tone champagne. But of course, it's not that bright and it's not that glittery. but the color story looks quite similar. So as an option, why not? Next shade is going to be a multichrome. This beautiful multichrome. And when I did a look using the shade, I thought immediately about this palette from Vanessa Marks. And by the way, here we have several shades that look kind of similar to several shades from this beautiful palette. And let's do swatches side by side. Of course, this shade from Adept, from EMO Palette, it has extra glitters, as I've told you, but Vanessa Marks Galaxy shade, I think it's a light work volume 3. This shade is thinner from Vanessa, and it looks more kind of pigmented, but just look at them. On eyelid, they look almost identical. Almost identical. They shift identical. And of course, these two guys must be applied over something, ideally over something dark or close to something dark. And I think that you can use one or the other. The only thing that, as I've told you, here we have some extra big glitters. Here we don't have any, and this shade looks more like a basic metallic. One more shade from Emma, golden. And one more shade from Vanessa and from this palette. It's called Soul, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's true. This one. Same thing again, guys. They look kind of similar, but I would say that these metallics from Vanessa are more creamy. They look on swatches quite close. The only thing that the bases are a little bit different. The one from Emma is more like, it looks a little bit darker and even a little bit more orange, while this one looks more yellow. Honestly, this palette from Vanessa was amazing. I like it. It's great. We have different beautiful toppers, duochromes here. And yeah, her limited editions are awesome. And the last shade I wanted to swatch and to show you, this one from Emma Palette. And I have several shades that are kind of similar to this one. And we are gonna start from Beauty Bay. And here we have a beautiful kind of duochrome, and again it shifts quite similar, not fully identical, but kind of similar. And in some cases they may look quite similar. The only thing that this shade, of course, is more purple, while this one is more, I would say, pink golden. But take a look. Yeah, quite close, but not really that close. Cosmic brushes. And this beautiful multichrome from this palette. Formula is quite similar, quite creamy, thin, silky. And in some cases, these two guys may look quite similar. But this one, again, is definitely darker than this one. This one looks more, again, golden. And the shade, have this beautiful palette made of Glam Shop and Bernovich. And honestly, you can find some beautiful duochrome and you can order them from Poland, Bernovich or Glam Shop. And here I have this beautiful shade. Let me tell you the number. It's Bernovich Galaxy L12. And it's a dupe. It's a kind of a dupe, but this product is thinner and the texture is more kind of silken. Just take a look. They look so similar. Okay, maybe Emma is more golden, but honestly, on eyelid, these two guys, they're gonna look fully identical. And again, talking about the texture, Bernovich here is better because it's not flaky, it's thinner and it's easier to work with it. This one looks more flaky and more kind of glittery. And it was our last swatch for today. So to sum up, if you're interested in different duochromes, try to check single eyeshadows, because time to time you can find something similar and something beautiful. And I think that you can easily find something similar to this shade, to this one, and probably to this one. And honestly, to this one as well. Of course, if you need a palette with different multichrome, with different duochromes, so it's easier to buy a palette. My impressions, my impressions. I was impressed, I was surprised, and yeah, I do like this palette. It was quite easy to work with it. It was quite funny to work with it. I did several beautiful looks, and of course, I'm gonna keep it. Of course, I'm gonna use it. I'm a big fan of such shimmers, such glitters. I like drawing, and I like doing some complicated eyeshadow looks. And yeah, I think that I should try more palettes like this, and I will probably try to catch them time to time. Unfortunately, they are quite pricey, and yeah, it's not that easy to produce, and it's not that cheap to produce beautiful multichromes. And actually, I can fully understand it. I like this palette, and I can suggest it to you, especially if you like such color story and if you like multichromes. Let me know down below what you think about this palette. Do you like it or no? And in overall, do you like such complicated multi-chrome shades? And are you interested in your reviews? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if yes, don't forget to put a thumbs up, and of course consider subscribing. I wish you a pleasant day, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye!